You are now watching Mach Green Podcast.
I get it. When I pull up out front, you see the Benz on dub. When I roll 20 deep, so it's drama in the club. Now that I roll with Trey, everybody show me love. When you sell like Eminem, you get plenty of groupie love. Look, homie, ain't nothing changed. Rolls down, cheese up. I see exhibit in the cutting, man. Roll them trees up, trees up. Roll them trees up, roll them trees up. I see exhibit in the cutting, man. Roll them trees up.
Now give it up for Daniel Smith and Jaws.
I got money to go and party. I've been watching you twist your body.
Oh, baby.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Mach Green in the house. We're yet again in the custom Volkswagen jet that I'm flying in right now, of course. But we're here. It's another season of New York Jet football. And listen, I mean, around this time, I usually get really excited. As the years have gone on, I've learned to temper that excitement and look for the real meat and potatoes of what's going on with this team and this roster. And I think, we'll do some of that today, and we'll go over the schedule. But first thing is, we got an injury on the offensive line, guys. And thank you, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Welcome back yourself. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. But sadly, we got injury on the offensive line. Unfortunately, this is several times he's been hurt throughout his career. It seems like it's always in the most important times too, when we're either on a roll.
And it literally happened like 9 o'clock. I think I got the notification like 9:15, 9:30 this morning.
It's just one of those things where it's like right before. I mean, we're literally playing in a couple of days, but this is the Jet way, and we're used to seeing this. And when you look at this roster, Jaws, I mean, we just spoke about it before we came on. Like, how come we don't have like any more reserves? I think you said a guard, right?
Yeah. Well, also you also got to sit there and think, man, especially with like the new era with Aaron Glenn, and I mean, you saw it on the defensive side with Detroit. It was always next man up. And they ended the season great. You know what I mean? But it's all about that. You gotta, and I know it's hard to say it as a Jets fan, dude, but you have to be. You're trying to be as positive as possible for Aaron Glenn. You know what I mean? Because obviously it was just like I said. It was the same thing in Detroit. They lost Malcolm Rodriguez. They lost Hutchinson, but they still made the playoffs, and they went on the run. So it's very unfortunate, especially with him being voted as a captain and, all eyes on that line. And we were just talking about it. Like, dude, that, the offensive line might be, it might be scary this year. But unfortunately, it's same stuff, different toilet. That's literally what it is,
and that's
bro.
the problem, and with this team. And it's unfortunate it happens all over the league, but it would have been nice to have Justin Fields get started with a nice clean line that was built. But, Xavier Newman's there. I mean, I would prefer to see Tippmann actually play at center, but I understand the circumstances, and it's hard to pick up a quality offensive lineman at this point in the season when everyone's ready to go and has their best players slotted in. So Tippmann slides over, Meyer steps up, Newman stays in that guard position ready to rock and roll, and they can also roll Mitchell in a guard spot if they needed to as well.
And also like I said right before we started, they're putting a lot of trust in Olu. at left
I
tackle.
mean, and deservingly so.
Yeah.
So for these guys. I mean, this offensive line, it's time to see something out of it. I mean, I'm not saying Joe Douglas was the best ever, but it wasn't for lack of trying, that's for sure. And there was a lot of expectations missed with this offensive line as a group, and they got a new coaching staff in here. Let's see if some of these guys live up to what they're supposed to. Membu, Fashanu, you know what I mean? Titman, we got to see it all. We got to see them work
Right.
wonders here, at least on the ground. You got to be able to extend drives. You got to make yourself a tough out. You can't go 3 and out, get blown out, because you're not going to have the type of offense to march down the field. I mean, we looked down this roster, and we talked about it. Mason Taylor, as much as we like him, I mean, it's a big question mark, and we know this. How many times as Jet fans that we get all excited about a tight end, and then guess what happens? Boom, nothing. That's what happens.
Yeah, I think the last time I was like just a little bit intrigued on a tight end was probably Dustin Keller.
Yeah, and I mean, well,
And
he flatlined too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And that's the problem here. And so that's a big question mark for me. Again, this season's a little bit different. This isn't Jets Guru, my old show. This is Welcome to Mach. We're coming in a little bit different now. It's not the same.
Yep.
And I'm not going to just give these guys credit off of fandom for no reason.
Yep. Thank you behind the lines.
I want to see something, man. Come on. We're first in American sports with the record for not making the playoffs. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, it's one of those things where, again, I'm not a player. We're not taking it to that level. We're just analyzing the game as it is. So everyone can look, well, you don't play and you don't know the sacrifice. I get it. All right. I get it. Relax. But we're talking about compared to your associates. Again, analyzing football is not necessarily rocket science. You could understand the ins and flows out of people and how they act and how players are and how they should play according to the statistics and the data,
right,
and the write-ups and the research.
and also right, and at the same time, you also have to sit there. Like, obviously, like I played football in high school, and like you did as well and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like these are still players that have gotten drafted that are afforded the opportunity, that are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play the game that we love. And for them, like that, and I make the joke all the time. It's like, dude, the last time the Jets made the play, not even won a playoff game, but made the playoffs, I was 15 years old in high school with season tickets. Now I'm 30, turning 31 in December with a kid on the way. So it's like, how long? You know what I mean? Like, I hope I get this Christmas gift and also another Christmas gift with the Jets doing something this year. Just showing a little bit of life. Because obviously at the end of last year, it was kind of just like, it was literally the Jets just end the season. That's literally what it was. You know what I mean? And it was like, dude, like I just want this season to be done. But obviously, and I mean, we said it in the messages. It's like, dude, this season, like, I've never been so excited for an NFL season to finally start. And I feel like it's been forever, dude. Like, we waited so long for this to happen. JR, I love it, dude.
Listen, well, you're in the mind, dog. You are in the absolute minority there, because this season snuck up on me because I just wasn't even thinking about it, because life is all over the place. I'm adjusting to a new move in a new place, a new job, and kids everywhere doing different things.
Yeah.
But after last season and how the organization treated its players and how the organization just kind of let these really silly, ridiculous headlines get out, and they were true, I was just like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. But this is the Jets. After I thought we had cleaned this kind of stuff up, we struck again. So again, It's a prove-it season for me. I don't need the Jets to win the Super Bowl. Heck, I don't even expect them to make the playoffs. But what I want to see is that we're building towards something.
Just a little bit of life. That's all we want.
Life. Enough to where you could say, I would like the quarterback scenario to resolve itself. Like, if Justin Fields comes out there and he's really mediocre, then you know what your goal is. Your goal is to get a quarterback and let Fields play out his contract and then start that guy the second year, like every other normal team has done since the beginning of time that's had success for the
Yeah.
most part. And it's not that hard to do. You
Like,
let,
yeah, and also going back to like the Lions, like when with the Stafford and Goff trade happened, you know what I mean? Like the Lions literally put all their trust in Jared Goff, and Goff literally sat there and was like, all right, cool, like you guys are giving me the reins. Let me prove to you that I can be that guy. And realistically, let's be honest, who the hell thought Jared Goff was going to be what he is now? You know what I mean? Especially with that offense.
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, but these guys, you know how it is in football. You're one piece of a cog that, and it's just one of those things where you hope that enough comes over from one side, like Detroit, and it leaks over into the New York Jets, and somehow they use Gibbs like how, they use Brees how they would use Gibbs, and, Montgomery would be Davis like I get it. Like I get it. I understand, but it's not that easy, and it's mostly doesn't work. The Jets have a lot of good pieces. If they step up, I think they can push for a 500 mark at their best.
So
Uh,
Scott
they-
said. So Scott said either 3 or 4 wins or win 10 or 11. 6 or 7 or 8 games hurts this team. Let's find out if we have a QB of the future or we now have to draft a new one. See,
but again, this is why I brought up.
Yep.
I would rather have a season with very low expectations. The Jets go out there and they play like McCown was out there that one season with Curse and Robbie, and they just threw the ball all over the place. Do it like that. Test Justin Fields a little bit. Make sure he's the guy so you can go out in the next draft, get your guy, let him sit for a year, and move on in Aaron Glenn's third year with a rookie quarterback, and then see it from there. I mean, that's the only way I can really see it happening. If not, you're always going to be in the market to try to get some middling tier veteran who may or may not or has not done anything, and you don't get anywhere like that.
Right,
So,
but also like you also have to sit back and think like, okay, with this new regime in there, and with Aaron Glenn at the helm, is it going to be the same old Jets, or is it going to be, like a new, like, are we going to put, like, let's say we do win 3 or 4 games, we try to go and draft a rookie quarterback. Do we go that route, or is it just going to be the same thing as like, let's find, I don't know, like just a shot in the dark, like, hey, Matthew Stafford has 1 more year. Let's go get him real quick and see what he can do. You know what I mean?
yeah, like that we can't do, because then if that's the case, you might have kept Rodgers for 1 more year and then get a rookie quarterback the next year, or do the same thing. Instead, you sign this guy for a pretty decent amount of coin in Justin Fields, I believe.
Yeah. What's up, Simon?
It's to empower him and then let him know, hey, if things go well and we're trying to sign you to a big deal, be nice. It's like, be nice. We believed in you before anyone else did. We were ready. We were the first suitors that came out there and wanted to hand the keys to you, and now everything worked out. So be nice. And I think that's good. It works for everybody.
But also, do you think, like, I mean, realistically, Fields has to go into this year and think like, okay, this is my prove it year. You know what I mean? Like,
this is it.
Yeah, it's either this or bust. Or I'm going to the UFL or something.
No.
You know what I mean? Like but also like this. I feel like this is the last year where it's like, okay, I have to prove myself that I am a starter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, for instance, look at Anthony Richardson with the Colts,
he got it yanked, and
which is bizarre. But
here's the thing: I think with Anthony, they should have really let him roll this year, and then seen, because it's not like you're gaining anything with Daniel. Like, I don't think all of a sudden he's just going to be the guy for you. At least with Richardson, it's kind of like, well, he has a chance still. You threw him in there kind of when you really shouldn't have, to be honest, because that's what NFL teams do right now to try to maximize contracts instead of thinking of the development of the player. But I get it. It's a entertainment business.
Right.
It's not a minor league system. And I get it. But these are the things that you have to do. Like, not everyone coming in could just start right from get-go and have that kind of success. A lot goes into it, especially for a winning team.
And
I mean,
also see,
look at Bryce Young. Bryce Young's starting to come along a little bit, but the Panthers have also gotten a little bit better, and they threw him in a little bit too early. And
yeah.
these guys are getting thrown in there too early, and I think it's hurting them.
Well, I
it's
think I
really,
think Brady said like the perfect thing. He was like, "You guys," he's like, "You guys are throwing these, just like you said, you guys are throwing these rookie quarterbacks into a system and expecting them to, to prosper immediately." You know what I mean? And like Scott said, how'd Rodgers do with that logic? The logic that we were just talking about. The problem was with Aaron Rodgers, we literally just gave him the key, and it was like, "Hey, free reign. You can do whatever you want. You just have to produce." Obviously, that didn't happen season 1, with the Achilles injury. But then season 2, it was like, okay, like this has to be it, And then like going with against San Francisco, a lot of promising there. But then after that, it was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Like, even though we lost to San Francisco. That I remember that one drive, I literally sat on my couch and I was like, "Oh my god, like this could be like they actually look like a team." And then it just fell apart. Like it was just,
yeah. I mean, this current team, has shown me absolutely nothing. And like
no,
somebody
not at
said,
all.
and like somebody said in the comments, I think it was Simon, they're not gonna show you anything, and I get it. But everything that we've seen in camp and we've seen, I just haven't liked what I've seen from this team. But again, I wasn't expecting much from this team. I said 6, 7 wins max, 8 if something happens where a couple of teams fall off due to injury and they start losing games, that type of thing. This
Well,
team
now,
is not
well,
ready yet.
right, but now it's a little scary, especially with with Vera Tucker being hurt on that right side. It's basically like with Olufashano on the left, you're protecting that blind side. Hopefully, that next man up is protecting your strong side.
Well,
But
Titman's good. I'm fine with Titman, but then it's like you're losing a quality position, where
right,
Titman is a natural center. So you're losing your best natural center, and you're getting a replacement at guard that's not as bad as like someone just coming in off the street or anything, because Titman can hold it down. But then the guy playing behind Titman is not as good as Titman. So it
right,
just
but
starts
but
to
but
fracture the line very slowly.
right, but and you also have to think between Titman and Fields, they built that chemistry throughout the entire camp. Now with 3 days before the first game, it's like, okay, like what are we gonna do now?
Stop! Don't
You know what
even
I mean?
start.
Like that's literally like where
I
I just
know,
thought
but
about it.
that's because that's how it always happens, and it's not hard to see. So now they're gonna be rushing to get snaps to Myers, to Fields when Titman's been the guy, and I get it and I understand, and maybe they do more work with both centers than we actually think. Um, but especially because there's only 2 centers, so that guy's got to be getting some kind of
Right.
looks, and
So
so.
so Simon says everyone forgets the difference. Failed us last year. We had 4 or 5 fourth quarter leads. 100%. It's like the going into the
We
fourth
talked
quarter.
about that.
It's like our defense just completely fails and just gets very complacent. And then Scott says with AVT getting hurt really kills this team next year. Both of our starting guards are free agents next year. Right. And also going back to that, it's literally next man up, which going back with the Aaron Glenn regime, just hopefully that carries into what he had with the Lions, brings it to the Jets this year. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's going to take some time to implement too, as well. And so you have a young team that's trying to implement a new quarterback with a new system, with a new coach, with a new defense. And all of a sudden you wake up and you got the Steelers' first game with, when I think you look at the roster of both teams, I mean, everyone likes to paint Aaron Rodgers out as the villain because of his personality, but his numbers were still there. And
Yeah.
like Simon said, there were some bleeds blown where the Jets could have been in some scenarios here where if maybe you didn't fire your head coach a couple of games in, they would have stayed a little bit sharper on defense because the guy that actually runs the defense is available. Because again, like we said, the offensive line gets thin when one guy at a premium position has to move to the backup or to the side. Now that other guy has to ascend up. So essentially you lose 2 quality positions. They're just not as bad of a situation. And it's
Right.
the same thing that happened to the defense when they had to promote their defensive coordinator up, and then everything underneath the running back coach's responsibility, the tight end coach, everybody's responsibility changes when these types of things happen, and it creates discord. And when things go bad and you're not winning, people start pointing fingers, and then headlines
But
drop.
also it goes back to the chemistry thing, and it just sucks because it's literally happening
Ah,
couple days before that. What, you going dark?
I'm spying. I'm spying.
Eh, but like lost Daniel for a sec. But going back to that, it's literally just the chemistry thing, and it sucks that it's happening literally days before the first game, and especially one of our most important, just for like an ego thing when it comes to this season, with basically quarterbacks change, basically switching roles, and with Rodgers in Pittsburgh and Fields in New York, and just that hatred. Like me personally, since 2010 when they beat us in the playoffs, what was it 2010 2011? I've hated the Steelers since then. You know what I mean? And
Oh
Simon
yeah,
said,
absolutely. I hate that. They're the team that I hate the most.
yeah,
Like when I get ready to when I get ready to see the Steelers and play the Steelers, I'm just like, I hate this team for all those memories.
yep.
Roethlisberger, the Sanchez stuff, it all just comes back, bro. And so, yeah, I'm with you on that. I cannot stand, absolutely cannot stand um, the Steelers. But here we are. Here
And
we are
now
again. And again, I think they have some weapons to really put it on the Jets if they're not smart about the way they go, because I do believe that Aaron Rodgers had more juice than we think, and now he's even further removed from the surgery, and he still has weapons. DK Metcalf is a problem.
yeah,
They have Jonnu Smith. They do have some running back by committee that they like. And then you're going to have to deal with the other side. Like, are you going to be able to score enough points to outduel Aaron Rodgers, who had, what did he have, like 28 touchdowns last year?
I think he went 28-9 or something like that.
So 11 or something like that. Like, I mean, he wasn't as bad as you think, considering coming off that 1 year removed off the surgery, considering the whole team pretty much fell apart. Um, yeah, this may not be as easy as people think it
Yeah,
is. I mean, a
and
lot of
and
people
and
like the
now
Jets this year. I'm not one of them.
and now Sauce even practiced today. Is it his
Yep.
shoulder again?
He was a limited. He was a limited participant. There's not a lot that's out about it, but I think he's going to be fine. I don't think it's a major thing.
Right, but now,
Um,
if do we have 100% Sauce going up against DK, or is it like limited Sauce against
I don't care. I
a
don't care
healthy
if it's
DK?
limited sauce. I don't care if it's a taster. I don't care what it is. If Sauce is out there, he must show up. There's no excuses. This is
Yeah.
what these guys always say all the time. No excuses. No
So now,
excuses. No excuses.
does it surprise you that he wasn't voted a team captain?
Nah, that comes out to like veteran leadership and a lot of other things. It's not just.
Right, but also, I mean, you have Fields, Wilson, Vera Tucker on the offensive side.
I mean, he got just because he got paid, I don't think he necessarily needs to be the captain. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's other leaders. He still is really young. There's a lot of veterans also that are sprinkled throughout that I think could be captains on the team. And I don't see any problem with it. I think also he has a lot to prove. You don't want to add the responsibility of also putting captain on him as well. So I think he needs to go out. It's a prove it year for him as well. He got a big deal. The organization, they believed in him and they went in on him, and he's got to show up regardless. I mean, Revis always did. Day in, day out, we saw him come in. You don't think he was injured? You don't think he was banged up? Of course he was,
Yeah,
especially
of
in an
course.
NFL that I thought was a little bit more press and physical than we see now. And so for me, you got to show up. This is a prove it year for the New York Jets. I'm not giving them anything anymore. I'm not going to sit here, and I know Simon's going to be there, and absolutely going to miss you guys 100%, man. One of the best experiences of my life. If you guys haven't been, when you go tailgate at, I was going to say the Meadowlands, but
Yeah,
you
that,
you go to MetLife and you find a group of guys and
yep.
gals too, and they're awesome people, and they become like really good people. I'll remember these people, talk to these people anytime I go to the north. I'll try to connect with them, probably for the rest of my life. Excellent people. You meet really good people going to the games, and you have a great time and good experiences and all that kind of stuff. So it's great.
Yeah,
But
and that's the crazy thing when it comes to like the when it comes to just sports in general. Like I've like me being, I was in the Marine Corps, the brotherhood, camaraderie, and stuff like that. But as soon as, I mean, that's how me and you connected. We literally sat here and talked about sports, and now we're on a podcast together. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how like like and it's like, for instance, like with the World Cup coming to the U.S. Dude, the amount of fans that are going to be just like the relationships that are going to be built just off of sports is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because like everybody can sit here and relate onto something, or like you sit there and it's like, yo, remember I mean, unfortunately for us, it's like, yo, where were you during the butt fumble? You know what I mean? Like,
right,
or and it's stuff like that where it's like, you build that chemistry with each other, you build that relationship, and that should also count in the locker room when it comes to these players. You know what I mean? That, especially like, dude, you also got to think they've spent the last, 4 or 5 months together. You would think where it's like everybody should be on the same page. It's like, bro, I'm a New York Jet. We haven't been to the playoffs in 15 years. Why?
playoffs.
No, but the thing is, and like,
Playoffs.
like, and like the thing is, like, you also got to think about it. And it's like, why can't we be the team to to get over that? You know what I mean? Like last year towards the end of the season, you saw just there was no life in that team. It was just like I said earlier, everybody just wanted the season to end, even the players. You know what I mean? And it sucks as fans where it's like we always say it's like, oh, how come you didn't catch this ball? How come you didn't do this? It's like, dude, like these players are getting paid millions of dollars to play a sport that we love and enjoy. And it's like, dude, like why can't you just be, with Vera Tucker hurt? Why can't you be that next man, step up and get it together? That's literally my like, if I was in front of the locker room, I would have 3 words for him: get it together.
No, I mean,
That's literally what I would say.
I mean, these guys, they're millionaires. They do whatever they want, and they've kind of disconnected from what the team was. I mean, these guys, they own basically part of this team. They're a business. They're individual businesses,
Yeah.
and they do whatever they want. And it is close to the season. I mean, how about we just don't do anything that would put us in a scenario of getting hurt? Because I don't think 2 extra workouts right before opening day is going to change how we feel about anything. Let's just get off the ground, man. You know, and
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying with the Jets. This is why I don't get too crazy anymore, because it's a wait and see approach. I'm not going to say they're going to get steamrolled. That's not what I'm saying. They're going to get steamrolled at 1 p.m. I think honestly, early, what's in their favor is everyone's a little bit rusty. You got a lot of moving pieces, not only on the Jets but also on the Steelers.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a little sluggish at first. If the Jets can get some kind of lead where they can lean into their running game with Fields in the short game, I do believe the Jets have a chance to win this game at home. But if they go out there and they fall behind early and Justin Fields forced to throw all over the
They hit
field
that
with
panic
people that
button.
he's not really used to yet, except for Garrett. But remember, he also spent a few years away from Garrett, and this is with a new team. It's not the same dynamic. Yes, it's a little bit better. It's better than just a regular standard person, but it's a different offense. It's a different team. If they were smart, they would have brought some stuff from Ohio State that they worked on that they really connected on. They should have looked at the film and said, this is the most successful plays from Justin Fields to Wilson, and we're going to implement some of these routes in some kind of form or fashion with a different terminology. This is what
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of RPOs.
but yeah,
Especially
of
with Justin
course,
Fields being able to run.
Yes, you have to. The Jets have to do that. This is why he was brought here. The Jets are going to run the ball, and they're going to
Yep.
run the ball, and they're going to run the ball, and I hope they're creative about it, which they should be. Like you said, the connection from Detroit, that they learned how they put the running game together out there, and now they take it as part of their regime and bring it to New York.
And have that 1-2 punch with Hall and Allen.
And then Isaiah Davis also is, I think, good enough to get, 3 touches, 4 touches a game in potential meaningful scenarios. And if one of those go down, I think Isaiah is good enough. But it's one of those things where I just think the Jets have to run the ball out of necessity. Justin Fields is the one to do it. But they're also going to have to throw the ball. So I'm very interested. Like we talked about, 17-19 Steelers. I hope I'm wrong. Dude, if it's 17-9, I mean 17-9,
Yeah.
I can
it's going
see
to be a
that.
depressing feeling.
To be honest, I'm actually not mad about that. Like I can't disagree with that score, especially with the first one. Which, first of all, every preseason game this year, like, did you see the scores on these preseason games? It was like, dude, it looked like it looked like the Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? With what it was, just everybody was scoring left and right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like,
absolutely.
dude, like preseason games were going up to like 30 something points, which is insane. I mean, the Patriots mollywopped. Who did they beat?
Commanders.
They put like 40 on them. You know what I mean? And it was like, dude, like this is
But a lot of those guys
insane.
got cut, so those
Right.
scores are going to drop.
Right.
Sure.
Also, but now, especially with all the starters, like especially for us, we saw Fields throw 2 passes, or he went 1 for 5 for 5 yards against the Giants. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson played basically the entire half.
How many drives did he have?
I mean, but we talked about this before. This is the
I think
curse
like
of the
4.
Jets. This is the curse of the Jets, because they do things so awkwardly different than what should be done. Justin Fields is no different than any other quarterback, but at the same time, he has to be tested and pushed. So you're comfortable with a guy in a completely brand new offense who hasn't had the most success throwing the football, with new pieces around him, new offensive line, new team, to just get a couple of reps, which he didn't look good at, and not push him to really see what he's got.
Yeah.
And do you think he's maybe that fragile that's why you don't want to push him?
Well, also you got to think. And you know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, like seeing him against the Giants, the way he went for that one scramble for like 7 yards or whatever. Okay, cool. Do you think his toe is still bothering him?
Of course, it's going to bother him probably for the next couple of weeks, as long as he doesn't re-aggravate it. I don't think he's 100% healthy, but he's still going to be able to get the yards that he needs to on the ground.
Right, but do you think that's why he didn't play as much?
It's possible, sure, absolutely, 100%. But that's it. But also, I think I'm worried. Like, we looked over the roster, and I'm just not really all that happy with what we have. But I understand this is a pretty okay roster for where the team is at, coming off a year of expectations, falling off again, brand new coaching staff, brand new everything. This roster is about as good as it can get, considering the scenario that the team is in. And I guess that is where I come in with a little bit more cheer and a little bit more optimism when it comes to the Jets, because this team is about as good as it can get for a scenario, I think, of a team coming off what they just did and what they are. I think it's all right. It's pretty good, but I don't see playoffs, and I don't see 9 wins. Unfortunately, if we dive in, well, I guess we could do our scores at the end of the episode. Let's get through the schedule a little bit, and let's see where we're at here and where we think the Jets win-loss is, because I said previously like maybe 5 to 7 wins, but I guess we can look at it knowing what we know now. So do you want to go and kick this off, and I'll just either yay or nay it?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
I think with an attitude and like it's kind of like a revenge game with the Steelers with Rodgers. I feel like we can edge it out. So I think we can beat the Steelers.
Fair enough. Okay.
We're not beating the Bills. Are we home or away?
We are home.
We're
against
home. We're
Buffalo.
home against Buffalo.
Damn. No, we lose that. yeah, we lose.
At 1-1 there, and I think and I say the same thing about Buffalo, but I stopped doing it 2 years ago, where it's like, oh, you expect them to drop off because they lose coaches, you expect them to drop off because they lose receivers.
Yep.
They don't really have brand name pieces all over the place necessarily, but Josh Allen is good. We got to stop dissing this guy and thinking this guy ain't good, bro.
Okay, hold up, no, time out. Because I work with a couple people, or I did work with a couple people that were Bills fans. You need to give Cook the respect that he deserves. They have a great run game in Buffalo, and it's frustrating. It really is
but
frustrating.
But he was doing it even before Cook got there. That's what I'm saying, though.
No, right? No, don't get me wrong. Josh Allen is a phenomenal quarterback. Which we had the opportunity to get him, but they sat there and they were like, "Oh, kid went to Wyoming, whatever." You know what I mean? But
let's not go back to that.
But nonetheless, all right, let's move on. Tampa. We don't beat Tampa.
No, Tampa's hot right now.
1-2.
We beat Miami.
Monday Night Football in Miami.
We beat Miami in Miami.
We beat Miami.
Okay,
so 2-2.
We beat Dallas.
Okay.
We lose to Denver.
Okay.
Gosh, 3-3.
We beat Carolina.
4-3.
All right.
We lose against Cincinnati. We beat Cleveland.
That's 5-4.
We lose the next 2 games.
New England and Baltimore, so 5-6.
This one is we lose against Atlanta. Okay. on some BS. Because I don't know, because the last game I ever went to was against Atlanta, and we lost by a field goal, which was many moons ago. But
all right,
lose
then
Atlanta.
We got Miami. Then
we lose against Miami
at home.
5-8.
Yeah.
In December, we lose to them still.
We split. We split with Miami.
All right.
Yeah, we split with Miami. We beat Jacksonville and the Saints.
Wow.
7-8.
And we lose the last 2 games.
7-10. You got us.
I got us at 7-10.
Mine differs than yours, JR. Tally this up.
Okay.
So looking at this here, the Pittsburgh game is kind of a toss-up for me. And since it's opening day, I'll be a little bit of a homer because it's opening day. Come on. Right? We're at home. We got a guy 40 years old. He's trying to figure his team out. Maybe we gut one out. So you could put that down for the Jets winning on Sunday. Then we lose Buffalo, Tampa, and Miami. We go 1-3 to start the season.
Okay.
Doesn't mean we can't be competitive, but we lose those games. We beat Dallas. So what's that at now?
2-3.
2-3.
We lose to Denver.
Okay.
We beat Carolina.
3-4.
We lose to Cincinnati.
3-5.
Yeah, but then you got Cleveland.
No, we lose to Cleveland there. That's the upset.
What?
Yes, listen. This is the one.
Bro, you have no faith.
You cannot
this year,
deny me that it happens every year. There's always that game the Jets should win and they don't. It's a little flip flopper here because you had them. I think I think you had them losing to New England twice. I don't have them doing that. So I
Yeah.
think they lose against Cleveland at home, the game that they should win to get back to respectability, and everyone gets pissed off again. Then they go to New England.
Which
They
which by
lose in New England.
it's a Thursday night game.
They lose in New England in November. What am I at now?
3-7,
They lose to Baltimore.
3-8.
Okay. They beat Atlanta.
See that's the game where that's your Cleveland game for me.
Right. So they beat Atlanta.
4-8,
Okay.
They lose to Miami.
4-9.
They lose to Miami.
Yep.
They lose to Jacksonville.
4-10,
Bruh.
They beat New Orleans.
5-10,
They beat New England.
6-10,
They lose to Buffalo.
6-11.
That is where I have the Jets this year, and reasonably so. Miami, if healthy. Now here's the caveat. If Miami loses early somehow, like let's say Tua doesn't play starting that Monday, September 29th, maybe the Jets might win 2 more and get 2 more wins and flip-flop it, something like that. But if Miami is healthy, they're not beating Miami this year. They're not beating Tampa. They're not beating Buffalo. They're not beating Cincinnati. They could lose to a team we all think, like Cleveland, they should win. Even if they win in Cleveland, they can easily lose one of the games I split with them with New England, no problem. They could lose those.
Okay,
Upside.
so now I do have a question though. If let's just say hypothetically, all right, if you had to pick one sleeper win on this schedule, who you
I think
picking?
it would be at Jacksonville in Jacksonville because let's say I'm being generous here right now, and let's say that I hate doing this to somebody, but let's say Tua is not playing for some reason, okay? And you can somehow flip that game, flip that sleeper game, Jacksonville, then go to New Orleans on a little bit of esteem. Let's say New Orleans isn't very good. Then you feel good going into that New England game. So you can come off a streak of maybe beating Atlanta and winning like 4 games in a row and finishing like 4-2 to end the season. And I think if you do something like that, I think that you're really happy, with that kind of swing in December.
So not gonna lie, like looking at this, I feel like there's one game where we could be a surprise. Like remember last year with Houston. You know what I mean?
Houston was missing a lot of pieces. Like
right. So now I'm looking at Baltimore.
Ain't no way.
That
all right,
could
listen,
be.
But listen here, let them cook out. Let them cook. Go.
Like so realistically, there's no way Derrick Henry's having another year like he had, last year.
All right, shut him off. Shut the stove off.
No, but listen, but also listen, how severe? I feel like Baltimore is kind of putting away that injury with Lamar, like the Rams are doing with Stafford. You know what I mean? Because it was apparently the problem was you had apparently Lamar Jackson left practice early, and they were like, oh no, it was his wrist, but he was limping off the field. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but again, this is like we're talking about with Justin's toe. It's like these guys aren't going to be healthy. They wrap it up. They do all sorts of stuff, throughout the year. But I'm with you. It's late in the season. Maybe there's an injury. Maybe someone's not playing, whatever might have you. They can sneak in there. But you still got Miami, Jacksonville, New England, and Buffalo to close the season.
right.
So if you want to do anything this season, realistically, the flip doesn't happen early. It happens late.
No. Well,
it
also
doesn't happen late. It doesn't happen late. It happens early. You're going to have to win against Pittsburgh. Here's the kicker. You're going to have to win at Pittsburgh and Tampa. Because
they're not beating Tampa. I'm telling you that right now.
But I'm saying if you want to make any noise, I hate to say that you got to win something that early, but you do. because you can find yourself 1-3. You can find yourself 1-3 playing against Dallas and then playing against a superior team in Denver right after.
Oh well,
And
damn.
who's to say Carolina's not improved?
Don't they play Denver in what, Germany? Or
Yes, that's another thing. You have no home field
oh
advantage.
my
It's in
God.
You
London.
don't
All right.
you don't
London.
feel good
London.
about
There you
those
go.
games. You could easily, and here's the thing: you're not guaranteed to beat Dallas. You're not
Yeah.
guaranteed. We just say that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see us beating Dallas.
You could be 1-5 by the time 1-6 by the time you hit Carolina, something like that.
Listen,
No,
Yeah.
1-5
Daniel, I'm
by the
gonna tell you
time
right
you hit
now.
Carolina.
We go 1-5.
Hey,
Dude,
What you gonna do? Rookie
I'll see y'all
season.
next season.
y'all want to hear my?
Rookie,
You want to hear my
no,
predictions?
no, no, no. You can't. No, we gotta all suffer together right here on Mock Green. Make
Yep.
sure you're sharing on Facebook. Make sure you're kicking this out to everybody on your streams. Let's boost us back up. Get our
Absolutely.
numbers back to where they should be. New look, same style, same information, same fun talk amongst fans. But I know we're pushing here towards the end of the show.
Hold on, wait. Jr wants his
Yeah, let me give my
That's
prediction.
what I was gonna say. I was
yeah.
gonna say we got to get Jr. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. So I actually got us somehow beating Pittsburgh week 1. Then we're gonna go on a landslides. We lose to Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, Dallas, Denver. And then we come back, beat Carolina. We lose to Cincy. We beat Cleveland.
Y'all be sleeping on Cleveland, dog.
We lose to New England, Baltimore. We beat the Falcons. We lose to the Dolphins, Jags, and we beat the Saints. So what is that?
You're 5 and
Yeah.
what? 5 and
See,
10.
Jr. is right where I'm at with this
Yeah.
football team.
I
right
hope I'm
now.
wrong, but
I'm about to say, listen, I hope we're all wrong.
Well, so do I. So do I. I hope they beat Pittsburgh, lose to Buffalo, beat Tampa, lose to Miami. So you're 2-2. Beat Dallas and Denver. You want to show that where this team is at. Let's say they're really far ahead. You beat Dallas and Denver right there, and you get to 4-2, and you split with Carolina.
But also
5-3.
if we go like 5-2, 5-3, I'm still not impressed.
I am going into the bye week. You know why? Because now you've afforded yourself. You got it on it. Yeah, but here we go.
Hold on, wait. Okay, wait. Okay. So we play Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
We have a bye week and you still have Cleveland beating us?
Because that's the trap game, bro. This is classic Jets. And even now, the Jets are 5-3. Here's the classic test. Off the bye week, lose. Go to New England, lose. Now you're 5-5. Lose to Baltimore, 5-6. All of a sudden, the train's going like this. Boom. There goes Atlanta, 5-7. Oh boy, here comes the slide. 5-8. Miami into Jacksonville, 5-9. Oh boy, New Orleans, we win 6-9. Lose to New England, Buffalo. I mean, it's just either way.
Okay.
Either way, you could see it. There's some things that have to happen with this team for us to be able to have success at a high level. I'm looking for the penalties to be low. Like work on that as a team. Be able to establish a run game with your quarterback and your backs. Be able to have complementary offense. Be a hard out. Like let us get excited into the fourth quarter. And not because Fields throws 8 interceptions and that's why we don't win. It's just like we don't have enough. Things stall out from time to time. But Fields has 2-3 drives a game where he looks pretty competent. And maybe we even score some points. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for McDonald to see if he can continue to grow, see how Johnson looks coming off the injury.
I'm about to say that just because I was watching the whatever the YouTube is for the Jets, and like just seeing him, just jogging onto the field, it's like, okay, like he's back into the swing of things, and and honestly with him and Quentin Williams, it's at the point where it's like especially with Williams he's a star of the defense. CJ Mosley's gone. So now it's like, all right, like you are that guy. Like you have it's your team now.
Phillips is a big guy. Phillips is a big guy. He should be able to shed you more time from time than you've had in quite a bit. And he's gonna stuff the run. He's an assist guy. We talked about it last week. he has something to prove too.
And also especially with that interior now, with Phillips and
Yeah.
Williams and stuff like that. It's like those like third and one, 3rd and 2 plays. This is like, now it's at the point where it's like, okay, like those two guys are the most important pieces on those downs. You know what I mean? And it's like, as long I feel like as long as we can stop the run, and those the 3rd and 1s, or even like the 4th and 1s and stuff like that. If we can figure out how to stop those, even like 3rd and 5, you know what I mean? As long if Sauce finally figures out how to tackle, especially with somebody in the flat, I think we'll be okay. You know what I mean?
I mean, kind of. I mean, I prefer the 4-3. And I prefer that to stop the run over the 3-4 with the extra backer. So I think that'll do so. I think our roster's better fit for that currently. I like that Michael Carter is going to be used in nickel packages a little bit more exclusively because he has that kind of talent. Sauce has a lot to prove. I don't like Stevens. Even Sherwood has a lot to prove now that he's the main guy out there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what he can do, because if teams are able to get to the second level again with the New York Jets, it's just gonna be a long season. Just be gritty, stop the run, be scrappy. Take games to the end. Don't let the quarterback always be the reason why we lose, and I'll enjoy the season. If not, it's gonna be a 3-4 win type season, when I really think if it's run properly, it could be a 6-win season, a 5-6 win season with promise, or maybe even with a couple of things go their way, maybe even a 7-win season.
Listen, how about this? It's week 1. We're going into week 1. Let's enjoy that football's back. I mean, in all honesty, like watching college football this past weekend, it brought so much joy to me. And especially with me as a Miami Hurricane fan, us beating Notre Dame, especially on that one-handed touchdown. Listen,
by 3, we got you.
If a win's a win. Don't do that. But listen, at the same, let's just enjoy this week.
Yeah, it's week 1.
You know what I mean?
It's
week 1. Football's happy. We got football tomorrow. You got the bums of the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Going against, going Super Bowl champions. You know what I mean? It's
lock in those fantasy rosters, man. Don't forget about that Thursday night game as soon as you see.
Listen, I'm in 5 leagues and I'm losing my mind already.
Hey, Jaws.
What's up?
It's crazy how you said the bum Cowboys, but they seem to win 11, 12 games every year.
And they're still bums.
Yeah.
And they're still bums.
I would love to have that.
Oh, no. I know what you're saying, though. It's just with the expectations. Yeah. They're like the Lakers.
Right.
They're supposed to be Showtime. That's how they've been marketed. Yep. That's what their value of their franchise
America's
is.
Team. That's
but
what
I think also nobody actually believes that, and that's just something they let them get away with saying.
Oh, so absolutely.
So at the same time, but they do win games, and they're never able to close and seal the deal, and that happens with a lot of teams.
True.
But they're not an easy win. They're not just a gimme win here. This is why I say, when you look at this schedule, you could easily be 1-7. You can easily be 2-6, no problem, if it doesn't roll your way.
Right.
If it takes you 4 games to get acclimated in the pros, you've got a hefty schedule for your first 4. Just tough teams in general that have always played you tough. Yep. Even if we're better than Pittsburgh currently in game 1, let's say, it's still not going to be an easy matchup. Then you play Buffalo, then Tampa, then Miami, then Dallas, then Denver, before you maybe get a break in Carolina, and we don't know how much better they're going to be, or if they're going to be on the same level as us.
Yep.
Cincinnati, you know what they could do offensively. Cleveland is the setup game. New England, at New England, you can lose. Baltimore, you can lose. Miami, you can lose. Jacksonville, you can lose. New England, you can lose. Dude, there's a lot of losses here, bro.
We know how it's going to turn out. We're used to it.
There's a lot of losses, and I'm going to try to be as excited as I possibly can. But at the same time, I'm not. I want it to be just like that Josh McCown season.
Yeah.
When they were slinging the ball up and down the field and they were taking chances. Like,
Also,
take chances. I don't want to see the handoff, like Mark Sanchez with the wristband, and Justin just running all over the place and really not throwing the ball, and
yeah,
they're really giving up on third downs and trying to just dump it down. Like, push the offense. I want to see what this is. This is the
yeah, like
time.
that, like third and 6, we're running back screen for
Yeah,
what?
it's like this is
Like
the
throw the
time to
ball,
test
dude.
everything during the rookie season of
Yeah,
everyone's first year. Put it out there from day one. Get used to it. This is why you pay Garrett Wilson, not just to shut him up, but to use him, and he wants to be
absolutely.
used too.
So now, real
So
quick, before we get off air, the rival jerseys.
Yes.
Had to bring it
Oh,
up
yeah.
because it's sitting there. Yay or nay?
I mean,
No.
for one game, I say yay. You know what I mean?
I
It's
mean,
just-
Okay.
fine. I mean, just make a mockery of the NFL. Why don't you? Like, just
So my thing is, do you like this one better or the color rush?
I like the color rush better, and I don't like the color rush.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want somebody's recreated version of the jersey. I want to see the old jerseys implemented throughout the season if we're gonna do it. But if not, just like I just thought, I want the greens, I want the whites. Just why does everything have to be a gimmick? Why can't we
Yeah.
just go out here and play football? I get it. It's a business. It's entertainment. I get it. But the league is pretty entertaining as it is, and they're never going to lose fans because of jersey colors and because of new uniforms. People are still going to line up to watch football, get their bets in, do their fantasy, and that is where the value is and lies with the NFL. I'd love to see the Houston Oilers uniform, the old one, the old Buccaneers every once in a while be brought out. Just some crazy old uniforms. Like, same thing with baseball, like the Astros. I love their old school uniform. I love the Mets New York pullover, the 88
Did you like the
version.
Titans, the New York Titans uniforms when we had those one year?
Yeah, I mean, if those were the real uniforms that they
It was
wore, not some recreated version,
Right.
It was different. Like for me, like when I was growing up, I always wanted either a Chad Pennington or a Darrell Revis in the Titans, the Titans jersey.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? It has a tough feel to it. I kind of like it, but at the end of the day, I somehow want to revive that old green, man, that Kelly green jersey that went through so much turmoil with Glenn Foley and all those boys and Bubby
Yeah.
Brister. I want to revive that jersey and bring it back and
with
do
some
something good with it. But
who was it? Boomer.
that's the one like Aaron wore. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
Jets green jersey.
Yeah.
Like, I want to bring that back for a game. That would be kind of cool, but actually win and like go out with like a win with that jersey. But yeah, we're gonna let you guys spin it. It's Wednesday. We got to get going. We appreciate your support. Jaws, thank you so much. JR, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so much. Of course, we're gonna fine tune it. We're gonna sharpen it as time goes on. Believe it. Make sure you share this everywhere. We're starting off new, so we got to build a fan base up. We'll get better at seeing your live questions here on the bottom. We're going to try to roll it live continuously so we can hit more questions as we go through as well to make you guys feel like you're a part of Mock Green with us. I'll also be writing articles like I used to do on Jets Guru. I know people really like those, and I'll be sharing those out throughout the week once the season gets started after every game. I'm not sure if I'll go live after games. I guess right now we're going to slow it down a little bit. We'll do this. We'll do the write-ups from all of us on the page. And we'll just keep growing it from the ground up like we did with Jets Guru, like Jaws knows how to do, like JR knows how to
Yes,
do.
sir.
And we're just going to keep building it and just be a part of it. And the people on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. We appreciate you as well. You can join us on Mock Green on Facebook, but we'll also try to do some more cuts and different things like that so you can enjoy more of our content on YouTube. So we appreciate the support. Thanks so much. And you know what it is, man. Mock Green, we're out.
Take care.
You are now watching Mock Green Podcast.
Okay, let's go.